The movie begins with Bianca, a hardworking girl who's constantly bullied by her classmates because they don't see her as pretty. Bianca is actually the smartest student in school and also an amazing violinist, but she doesn't really take care of her looks or her clothes. On the other hand, her best friends Jess and Casey are among the most attractive girls in school. Jess is a fashion designer, while Casey is both a skilled soccer player and a talented hacker. One day at school, a guy comes up offering tickets to a dance party. Jess and Casey turn him down, saying they already bought theirs online, while Bianca doesn't buy one at all because she hates dancing in crowded places and fears being bullied. As they're walking, they run into Madison, the most beautiful girl in school, but also the biggest bully who always picks on other girls. Madison invites Jess and Casey to a party at her house. When Bianca asks what she should wear if she comes, Madison quickly shuts her down, saying the guest list is limited and there's no place for her. That's when Casey hands Bianca her own invitation and tells her the problem is solved. This clearly annoys Madison, who despises Bianca and never considers her attractive. Later in class, the teacher asks if any student is willing to volunteer to write a report about the school's social life and present it at graduation. No one volunteers, and Bianca doesn't want to either. She's afraid of being mocked, and deep down, she doesn't even want to attend the graduation ceremony. But the teacher chooses her anyway, saying she's smart enough to do the job well. Bianca tries to refuse, but the teacher insists. She later tells her friends that she's not even dating anyone who could go with her to prom. Jess suggests making a list of available guys, but Bianca isn't interested in any of them, because in truth, her heart is set on Toby, the handsome guitarist with a sensitive soul. Bianca has a huge crush on him, but she's far too shy to talk to him or confess her feelings. The next day at school, Wesley, the handsome guy who has been Bianca's neighbor and friend since they were kids, comes over to greet her, and they chat for a bit. At that moment, Madison, Wesley's ex, shows up and asks Bianca if she's trying to flirt with her ex. Bianca quickly denies it, saying they were just talking, but Madison throws a dig at her and walks away. Later at home, Bianca's friends remind her that Toby will be at the party if she wants to go. Bianca shows them the outfit she plans to wear, but it looks terrible. Then, Bianca's mom steps in and tells her she has better clothes than that. Bianca's mom, who is divorced and works as a life coach, tells her daughter she should dress in a way that shows confidence, then leaves her to figure it out. That night at the party, Bianca shows up wearing an outfit that isn't stylish at all, and she keeps to herself, not really fitting in with the party vibe. Wesley approaches her while she's watching Toby play guitar and compliments her, saying she looks nice and that her friends are amazing. He asks if there's an occasion where he could meet them, but Bianca cuts him off, telling him to do things on his own and leave her out of it. Wesley replies that surely people are always asking her about her friends, since that's basically her role as the Duff. Bianca asks what he means, and he explains that Duff stands for Designated Ugly Fat Friend, the one who isn't as cool as her friends, but is approachable and easy to talk to because people don't actually care about her. His words hit Bianca hard. Wesley then asks her how many people a day come to her asking about her friends, and she admits it's a lot. He asks how many ask about her, and when she can't answer, she feels crushed. Angry and humiliated, Bianca throws her drink in his face and storms off. At home, she's deeply upset by what Wesley said because it really hurt her. The next day at school, Wesley tries to explain that he didn't mean it that way, but Bianca is still furious with him and refuses to make peace. Bianca, walking with her friend, begins to notice that no one really pays attention to her and that all the attention goes to Jess and Casey. So she pulls her friends aside and asks them, "Since when did you know I was your Duff?" Casey replies, "Since when do you care what people say?" Bianca snaps at them, "I'm not talking to you anymore because you use me to make yourselves look good. From today on, our friendship is over," and she leaves, leaving them stunned. A little later, Toby stops her, but she's nervous and can't bring herself to talk to him. In class, Bianca hears the teacher telling Wesley he might be kicked out of the scholarship group because his grades have slipped. On the field, Bianca asks Wesley to help her learn how to talk to and get to know her crush Toby, and in return, she'll help him raise his grades so he stays in the scholarship group. He agrees, but says first they need to go shopping. They go to a clothing store, and Wesley keeps picking out outfits that make her look pretty and attractive. Madison's friend sees them, and Wesley films Bianca trying on clothes. Bianca warns him, "If I see that video with anyone but you, I'll gouge your eyes out." She keeps dancing and pretending to talk to her crush Toby while trying on outfits, not knowing Madison's friend is secretly filming her too, and sends the video to Madison. Wesley takes Bianca to lunch and tells her he wants her to practice meeting and talking to people, so he tells her to try to get the number of the guy wearing glasses over there. Bianca, hesitant, second, goes up to him and asks, "What do you think? Should we go out?" He replies, "Yeah, I knew what you were up to. You're going to prank me, right?" Bianca says, "Of course," then leaves. She kept going around asking guys for their numbers, but she came off so weird that no one gave her one. Exhausted and frustrated, she sat down until a waiter came over and gave her a sweet compliment, and she managed to get his number. Wesley told her, "That's a 10 out of 10. Good job." As they were leaving the mall, Madison suddenly appeared and said, "Well, isn't this a nice surprise? What are you two doing together?" Worried about his image, Wesley quickly replied, "No, we weren't together. We just ran into each other." At home, Bianca learns that her mom has joined a dating program because she's tired of being single. Bianca opens up to her and admits she has a crush on a guy at school. Her mom gives her great advice, but treats her more like a client than a daughter. Bianca thanks her and goes up to her room. The next day at school, Bianca discovers a leaked video of her trying on clothes at the store, and all the students are mocking her. She runs to the bathroom and cries. At the same time, Jess and Casey see the video, and since Jess is a skilled hacker, she manages to erase it from all platforms, because deep down she still cares about her friend even though Bianca pushed them away. The school principal sees the leaked video and is upset, recognizing it as bullying against Bianca. The following day, he orders all students to hand over their phones to create a bully-free environment online. Strangely, all the students blame Bianca for losing their phones. Bianca confronts Wesley and asks if he's happy now with what happened, while his friends continue to tease and bully her. When Wesley stays silent and does nothing, she throws her lunch tray at him and storms off. Back home, Bianca is overwhelmed with sadness from everything happening to her. That's when Wesley shows up at her house to apologize, but she angrily slaps him in the face. Moments later, she softens and lets him inside. He tells her, "I deserved that, but I swear I never shared your video. Even the camera angles were different from where I was filming. It had to be Madison and her friend. And for what it's worth, I fought with my buddies today for mocking you." Bianca smiles and admits that no one has ever stood up for her like that before. Wesley gave Bianca a dress as a gift so she could wear it when talking to Toby. He told her, "Go to him and say, 'I know the video wasn't great, but I'm genuinely attracted to you.' If he doesn't like it, at least you took the step and freed yourself from the burden." The next day at school, Bianca went to Toby and said, "Since you saw the video, I just want to tell you that I'm really attracted to you." Toby appreciated her honesty and treated her with respect and decency, unlike the other students. He reminded her, "This is actually the first time we're talking," and she asked, "So what do you think? Should we hang out?" He agreed and told her to come over to his place Friday at 7. Overjoyed, Bianca rushed to Wesley for advice on what to do for the date. Wesley told her, "First rule, don't sit at a restaurant table facing each other. Go somewhere with a couch so you can sit next to him. That way you'll get closer." The next day at school, the teacher asked Bianca how her report was going. She admitted, "Honestly, I don't want to do it because I'll be the one presenting it and everyone hates me." The teacher encouraged her, "You're the right person for this. Always remember the pen is mightier than the sword," and left her with that thought. Later, Bianca went to Wesley's house and overheard his parents fighting. Wesley came out upset, so she took him to a quiet spot in the woods and asked, "Are your parents getting divorced?" He replied, "I hope so. At least then I won't have to hear them argue anymore." Bianca comforted him, assuring him things would eventually be okay. And in that moment, feelings began to surface between them, and they expressed their emotions physically. Wesley quickly apologized, saying, "Think of it as practice for when you're with Toby." And they laughed it off, teasing each other playfully. Unfortunately, Madison's friend secretly recorded the whole thing. The next day at school, Madison confronted Bianca and mocked her, showing her the video of her awkward attempts to get guys' numbers. She smirked and added, "I also know what happened between you and Wesley. Look, he and I are getting back together, so stop clinging to something that isn't yours. Remember, I'm more important in this school. You'll never matter." Then she walked away, leaving Bianca crushed. On Friday, Bianca got herself ready and put on the dress to go on her date with Toby. On the stairs, she ran into her mom, who told her she also had a date that night with someone she'd met through the dating program. On her way, Bianca stopped by Wesley's to thank him for his advice, and he surprised her with the news that his grades had gone up and the teacher was letting him back into the scholarship group, all thanks to Bianca's help. Bianca then continued to Toby's house, only to be surprised that they weren't going out to a restaurant or cafe because Toby had prepared dinner himself at home. She noticed the chairs were too far apart, so she moved them closer before he brought the food from the kitchen. Bianca was impressed by how good the meal looked, and Toby told her that if he ever focused on cooking, he could be a world-class chef. He kept showering her with compliments, but Bianca couldn't help seeing Wesley in her thoughts everywhere, which left her uneasy. They went outside to sit, and when Bianca felt cold, Toby politely offered her his jacket, showing real decency and charm. He then played some sweet tunes on his guitar. During their talk, Toby found out Bianca was no longer friends with Jess and Casey. He told her, "Why? They're really great. You should go back to them. They'd understand what happened. Honestly, they're two of the prettiest girls in school." And he kept going on about them. Bianca finally snapped, telling him she wasn't friends with them anymore. He then said, "Well, one of my buddies wants to meet them. Maybe you could help him out." Bianca was devastated to hear this from the guy she thought was the love of her life. She accused him of using her just to get to her friends, realizing even he wasn't genuine. Toby tried to explain, saying that when she first asked him to hang out, he assumed she'd bring her friends along and that one of them liked him. Bianca got up and left, tossing his jacket in the trash when he asked for it back. That's when she discovered his whole act was a lie. The food wasn't homemade at all, but ordered from a restaurant. Heartbroken, Bianca sent Wesley a voice note through tears, telling him Toby had been using her too. When Bianca went to Wesley's house, she found him back with Madison, acting all cozy with her. So she returned home and spent the day heartbroken over everything that had happened. Later, Wesley showed up at her place, saying he had heard her message. Bianca told him not to worry, that she'd moved past it, but added that she'd seen him with Madison at her favorite spot, and it hurt her deeply. He asked what he had done wrong, saying he thought they were friends. Bianca snapped back that no one really befriends her, and that he was embarrassed to be seen with her. "Let's not fool ourselves, Wesley," she told him. "Please just go back home." She shut the door and went upstairs, spending the night sad and lost in thought. Wesley, too, was upset by her words. In the days leading up to graduation, Bianca threw herself into writing the article and eventually submitted it to her teacher. Later, she sat down with Jess and Casey and opened up about everything. She confessed that she had thought they were using her too and apologized, admitting she always felt they were prettier than her. Jess reassured her, "None of us is better than the other. We all have flaws. You're smart, you're cute, and we love you. The truth is, we're a team, and none of us can be the three of us alone." They urged her to join them at the prom. Bianca hesitated, saying she couldn't face Wesley or Toby there and would rather stay home. That's when her mom came in and told her, "You need to accept yourself, and if you feel like an outsider, then be the best outsider there is." Those words inspired Bianca, and she decided to go to the dance. First, she sat with her friends to create a dress of her own design. When the night came, Bianca showed up at prom, radiant in the dress she had made herself. Wesley couldn't take his eyes off her, completely captivated by how beautiful she looked. Bianca walked over to him, and he gave her heartfelt compliments. Wesley said, "You look absolutely stunning. Forget Madison. You should be the one in the spotlight." Bianca told him she was sorry for what she had said before, that they really were friends, and that someone once advised her to be brave and confess her feelings if she liked someone, and she believed that's exactly what she was doing now. He was surprised and said, "Really? But unfortunately, I've kind of gotten back with Madison." Bianca smiled and told him it was okay, as long as he was happy. Just then, Madison walked over, annoyed to see Wesley with Bianca, and started mocking her and her dress. Finally, Bianca broke her silence and told Madison, "You've always made me feel miserable with your words, but now I actually feel sorry for you. You put others down to make yourself look prettier and better. But guess what? I love myself, so your toxic words won't drag me down just because you're trying to cover your own insecurities." Madison was left speechless, and at that moment, the teacher announced the prom king and queen, Madison and Wesley. Madison rushed excitedly to the stage to grab her crown, with the crowd cheering for her, but Wesley stood frozen, looking back and forth between Madison and Bianca. In the end, he chose to be brave and walked over to the girl he truly loved. He told Bianca, "Let's get out of here," and they went off together to the computer lab where they shared a tender moment. Bianca later finished the article her teacher had assigned, writing about her struggles as the Duff and how she overcame them. Everyone was impressed by her piece, and it was even published in the school paper. Her teacher praised her, saying she had truly amazed him, and many other students opened up about their own similar experiences. Wesley earned back his scholarship and left to study elsewhere, but his relationship with Bianca only grew stronger than before. The movie ends with Wesley and Bianca riding in a car together, heading out to spend the day with each other.